Morning, miners. Pakratt. And as they say, the jig is up. I have no idea what that means. All I know is that I have been exposed. And instead of just letting it go and not saying anything about it anymore, I thought I'd at least explain what the heck I was doing. Because I'm sure a lot of you are very curious as to what the Nancy Drew team was doing. By the way, they didn't do Nancy Drew too proud. They kind of missed a few key things. Okay, so let's just start this one straight from the beginning. I'll explain it all the way through. First off, it is triggered by hitting the button here. The first thing that happened is when you hit the button, it sends a signal all the way down the line here. I have some repeaters under here at some point, which would then send a signal through that repeater, which would go through the piece of gravel down here, down that line. When the signal got down to here, it would hit the dispenser that was here. I believe the dispenser was actually right here. Yeah, because there's the redstone right there that was pointing directly at it. And when the dispenser triggered, it would send a block straight down onto the pressure plate that was right here. Now, once that happens, it would then trigger the sticky piston. This is the part that had everybody confused. They could not figure out how this thing actually worked. Let's just go ahead and make a lever here just so I can illustrate. I probably have one in my inventory somewhere. I can't see it, but whatever. Okay, so when this thing triggered right here, and the dispenser dropped an item on top of that pressure plate, it would send this piston out like so. And when the item despawned, it would go back like so. The other thing that would occur is if somebody went by on a minecart here and picked up that item, it would also go back like so. Now here's what it was missing. This was also a safety mechanism. While it is also the thing that triggered everything, there was actually a repeater right here, by the way, going straight that way. It was missing that. When the redstone that was here was going this way, with the repeater, and I could actually have one on me right now, might as well do it. It would actually, when this went backwards, it would send that back and would then send the signal straight along. This is how you do a toggleable switch like that. It works, it only works once, but it works on the downslope, not on the upslope. So when this goes out, it does not trigger. When it goes back, it does. And it took me a while to figure out how to do that simply. I mean, I could have come up with some long, elaborate plan of making it so that this worked, but I finally figured out a much simpler way, and that was how. So, that was that part of the plan. I might as well take this back, too. Now for the next part. When that happened, it sent a signal straight down this way. And, of course, this is the part that you guys did see. It would then set off the pistons that were right here. When those pistons went off, it put up a wall. We can go over here now. It put up a wall, right? And let's see if I got the right spot here. Okay. Yeah, I put up a wall right here. I might as well just get this. Okay. Now, this is only the first part. See, when you are on the minecart and you're going this direction, it's going to I had those repeaters over. Yeah, hi there, buddy. I had those repeaters here to slow down the signal just enough to make it so that right when you reach this point, that wall comes out, stopping you dead right here. And then a piston that was right, let's see if I remember correctly, it was right here, which was already out, would then go back. It would pull, well, actually it wasn't there, it was here, same difference. And it would pull this block out from underneath you. Get this back right now. Now, here's where they were confused. What they didn't understand is that I didn't want to fall my own trap, so I didn't have this block removed. That is the actual tunnel. When they hit this and this block is removed, they drop straight down here. And, well, I guess I can go down there. It doesn't really make any difference right now. Like this. To see this. This is the trap. Okay? Now, the first thing you're going to do is break one of these. And you're going to keep breaking one of these, and you're just going to see a bunch of nothing. There's nothing here. You can't jump anywhere. You just have ovens everywhere. Now, they did figure this out. They figured out that the reason that there's ovens everywhere is because once the ovens are here, you can't place any blocks on it. Gudo's the one who figured that out, I believe. Now, that's not the extent of it. The second thing is, as soon as you go try to remove one of these blocks, the reason it's bi-leveled is because as soon as you remove one of these blocks, you're going to realize you're taking fall damage. And the only way to get out of here is to fall. And that is key. The only way out is down. That's right. This is not only a jail, because you can't place blocks anywhere to get out. It is also a suicide jail, because the only way out is to kill yourself by jumping straight down there. Now, of course, there is an opening here right now. Don't be confused by that. The next thing I would have done is close that up. That's the easy part. Same thing with the stairs there. The stairs would not be there when I was done. I would have removed that. That's why they're so small, by the way. There's only one block all the way down there because it's just easy to take them out when I'm done. And that was probably going to be my next task. In fact, the only thing that I had left to do in this was one thing. I had to finish the triggering mechanism up here. Hi again, buddy. Annoying me. The only thing that I had left to figure out is the button that I don't need. The button that was right here. I might as well just make a button real quick. Yeah, didn't make a button. There we go. The button that was right here, every time, well, not every time, but it was unreliable. The dispenser would shoot an item at it. Man, you are annoying me. Would shoot an item at it, and it would not always land in a place where it would be picked up by the cart over here. Sometimes it would land like right here, right on the edge of where you can pick it up. And the cart would go by, and I would not pick it up when I did it. So the next thing I was going to do was fix that triggering mechanism. And I was actually going to do that by making it so that it could... See, the way that as you saw when I set this up, after 5 minutes, it would automatically trigger. And I was going to make it so that that didn't happen. I was going to put a piston right here to pull this down so the sand would not be picked up by that piston if the 5-minute timer happened first. And that was the next thing I was going to do. That was actually not that difficult of a task. But let's get back down here. Just to be clear, ovens are not lagging the server, okay? That had absolutely nothing to do with a prank whatsoever. The nether has been lagged because the nether is laggy. It's because we've been building in the nether. Okay, if this is lagging in the server at all, it's because I'm building. But that's not the main thing. It's just the fact that I'm building, period. But yeah, that's basically it. The other thing is there is no way out of here. If you noticed, there is no way to jump across this. This is a 4-wide gap, I believe. Yeah, it's a 4-wide gap all the way across. There's no way to jump it. And even up there, it's the same thing. It's a 4-wide gap from there to there. Even sprinting, you can't do that. And then, although that is a 3-wide gap, yeah, that's where Paws dug in. Even though this is a 3-wide gap, you can't jump up 3-wide, and it's angled downwards. It's basically just a tease to be angled downwards. Now, the reason why this is so deep, this is awesome. Even if you go and start removing blocks, even if you're shifting on the ledge, getting as close as you can to here, no matter how far back you go, you cannot remove all of the ovens. It is impossible. It doesn't matter what kind of pick you have. I'm not sure, but I think the stone pick actually removes I think you can't remove as far away with a stone pick. I'm not sure. I think they changed that. But that's beside the point. No matter how far back you go, you cannot remove them all. That is why this is so thick. It's kind of a mind game. You see this and you're like, oh, well, I can walk. The reason that's another thing. The reason why this platform is so large is because it gives you a chance to walk around and think about it. It gives you hope. There is no hope. It just gives you some hope that there actually is a way out. There isn't one. So, and it also, this is where they would start taping it up here if they were doing the video. And this actually gives an area to walk around while you're doing the video. But as soon as they start digging in the wall, and they're like, oh, well, I can just jump that, they'll start realizing, no, they can't. There's no way you're going to dig far enough to get to the netherrack back here in order to place a single block. And this also occurs straight up. And this is actually 8 high ovens at this level right here. It goes all the way to the top. There's no way to jump high enough to place a block. And I tested that. I stood on top of this platform and I jumped and I tried placing a block, and you can't. You simply cannot. Goes all the way across. And that's what was so good about it. Let me just look at my notes here real quick. I want to make sure that I cover everything. Let's see. Shifting to the edge doesn't work. There is, of course, no stairs out, too. Now, I don't think any of you noticed, but I bet you a lot of you thought that you could just dig out the ovens and build stairs to get out. And none of you noticed this gap right here, which is where you're standing. You see, you can't jump on air. Yeah, you could make steps out of all the rest of the ovens here, but you can't jump on them because the first level is air. I actually did think of that. And like I said, also the other stairs, that's the other thing I was going to say, is that they're going to get removed, but I already said that part. Let's see. It said the angled wall and all that. Now, as far as why. Now, you guys know that Good has gotten pranked a lot. In fact, I'm the one who started it. And I didn't want to have to prank Good again. I know that he's been pranked a lot, and I didn't want to have to do it again. But the simple fact of the matter is that, well, he's kind of mocking me about the fact. He has mocked me that the first prank I did wasn't a prank. Because it takes a really long time to build that, and there's not really a lot that he has to do to clean it up. I kind of disagree. The idea of a prank is not to make it so it's hard to clean up. The idea of a prank is the part where the prank is occurring. This is so much more elaborate than the hallway that I made the first time, okay? That was nothing compared to the amount of work that I had to go through to make this thing. But you saw all them. You saw all them in here looking this over, trying to figure out what the hell was going on, how complex it is, how difficult it is to build, and impressed with a lot of the stuff that was going on. Do you really think that this would not be considered a prank because you don't have to clean it up? Seriously. Think about this. The only way out is to jump to your own death. Oh, and by the way, something that I figured out while I was building this, and it is something you can get around. If you're in here and you try eating, try looking anywhere and eating. Now, it is possible. All you got to do is find an air block far enough away from an oven in order to eat. But you need to be... I'm sure that it would take a little bit to figure that out, and it would get pretty annoying after a while that every time you try to eat something, you're opening up a stupid oven. But that's beside the point. But anyway, I think I've made my point about the fact that, dude, you were pranked. I don't care if moving the hallway was not that hard to fix. Dude, you were pranked. And the fact that he wasn't pranking me back was actually kind of a prank on me. So I had to go ahead and return the favor. So I know that a lot of you think that I didn't actually owe him anything because he never pranked me back. I think that the fact that he's been mocking me for all this time is kind of like a dual prank. It's more of a prank because I've probably actually lost a lot of respect from a lot of viewers because they think that I'm an idiot. Well, I think I've now solved that problem. Any of you who still think that I'm an idiot, well, you're just not paying attention. Oh, and I did have to tell you guys one more thing. How I was placing these things. I probably should mention that, huh? So a lot of you are probably trying to figure out, how do you place an oven on an oven? How do you make it so the ovens are more than 2 deep? Because when you're trying to place an oven on top of another oven, you're going to open the oven, right? So how did I do it? And this actually took me a little bit to figure out. I mean, not that long. All you got to do is really play around with it for a while to figure it out. And this, by the way, the reason that this wall is here is because I was originally going to make it a lot bigger. The only reason that I didn't is because, well, it was taking a while. Well, but let's give this area as an example. Let's say that I was going to do this area. First of all, you don't have to place the block right in front of you. You can place it on the wall next to it. Now, for the next row, you still place it on the wall next to it. It's that simple. That is how you place hundreds and hundreds of ovens in a sequence like that. All you got to do is make sure that there are blocks around it. The reason that it looks so difficult to do in here is because it's done. All those blocks are now placed, and I removed all the stuff that I placed them on top of. That is why it looks impossible. And by the way, that's kind of the point. It's supposed to look impossible. It's supposed to look like an undoable prank, and that's the cool part. So that's basically it, guys. I think I've pretty much explained everything. Obviously, I'm not going to redo this again, and I don't even think he's going to prank me back. And and I do kind of find it extremely funny that the only way that these guys have been able to beat me, the only way they've been able to expose my prank, the only way they've been able to stop my pranking is by cheating. That's right. And both of them, by the way, were by badge. When I pranked Team Canada, the only way that they could get up there and stop the mean old Packy from making all the noise over their head is by cheating and letting Badge go in there and use his modding ability, his creative ability to remove the bedrock up there. Please note, guys, I do complete vanilla. I don't have any mods installed right now. Sometimes I'll put an Optifine or something like that, but that's about it. I don't do mods. Well, not right now. I did do the Aether for a while, but that was a while ago. But I also didn't abuse this. I didn't go up that way. I went up a completely different way. I used a glass block and a piston to work my way up there. The same way that we've all gotten trapped up there in the first place. And the reason why this hole exists is because we keep getting trapped up there. They had to cheat. So the only way that they could defeat my last prank was by cheating. And now this one again, Badge, the only way that this prank was discovered was because Badge's texture pack didn't render the nether brick right. You see, the only reason that they even saw the prank, the only reason they even discovered all this, and right before I was about to unleash it, by the way, was because they cheated. He saw through the wall. And when he did, he saw the redstone, he saw the pistons, and he was like, what the hell is that? And then they started recording and figuring out what was going on. Well, actually, they never figured out what was going on. And I'm kind of proud of that. Well, that's pretty much it for now, guys. If you guys have any questions as to how I did it or what I'm going to be doing next, go ahead and let me know in the comments, and I'll see if I can get back to you. That's basically it for me from now, though. Now that I'm finally done with this project, and by the way, this was taking up a lot of my time. The reason you guys haven't seen any SMP videos from me for a while is because I've been down in there building that thing. I was actually working on this before I did the last prank, before I did the Team Canada prank. So I've been doing it for a little while. I actually stopped doing this to do the Team Canada prank because I just happened to think of it while I was doing something, and well, that was an opportunity knocking. I had to do that before someone else did it first. Okay, anyways, like I said, that's it for now. You guys have a good one.